Morning guys, Brook here coming to you from Aberdeen in Wales. Our girl Tomi Lahren is at it again. She's basically done a retraction video, which I'm pretty sure was suggested by some public relations person at her job. Not a good idea to piss off your demographic. And she's softened her tone. She's softened her look. She looks a lot more feminine. She's definitely more in control. And she has gone out to hedge against some of the comments that she made in her last video. Now, Richard Cooper over at Entrepreneurs in Cars has gotten some privy information, supposedly from somebody kind of on the inside track of Tomi Lahren's rant, as well as amongst her friends. There's speculation that Tomi Lahren definitely swung for the fences while she was engaged and had allegedly had an affair with a country music star of bigger note and repute. That probably is what led to the breakup. And this gentleman, who, again, I'm not going to rehash all of the details. You could go to look at Richard Cooper's video. But basically, high-valued man got involved with one of Tomi's friends and, made it clear up front that he wasn't interested in anything serious. He was just looking to have some fun, just got out of a long-term relationship. And these girls are throwing a hissy fit because they found out he's got options. What a shock. And, he's interested. He was seen out with, some other young girl who's got, let's just say, very developed lungs. And these girls are throwing a fit. Not, again, understanding men of value. That top 20% of men, women are options. As I keep telling a friend of mine, if you want these types of men who are high status, jacked, got their shit together and all this other kinds of stuff, guess what? Monogamy is earned. It's not a given, right? What are you bringing to the table? Why is he going to settle down with you when he can have the 23-year-old, with fantastically developed lungs and, less drama, less stress and all this other kind of stuff? And again, women do not understand the rules of the sexual marketplace and stuff like that. So I just thought I'm going to do a quick follow-up based on some of the points that Tomi raised in her PSA video. Again, she starts off by saying that, she doesn't think all men are trash. That's not what she said. In the previous video, she definitely said men are trash all over the country, right? In Dallas and Texas, the Midwest and whatever, men are trash everywhere. Now she's got to walk that back. Oh, she didn't really mean it, yada, yada, yada. But she's selling herself out. If she knows that all men are trash, I guess she's probably sampled a good lot of them. So again, this is not, this is not helping her case. Again, in the sexual market value, a woman's virginity is valued much higher than a woman who's got a very high notch count. The reverse is true for men. And again, women assume what attracts them to men are the same things that men are attracted to. That's not the case. Women are not attracted to virgin men who are sexually inexperienced. Women tend to want to be with men who other women want to be with, right? Which is why they're willing to go for these high-value men. They're willing to be in rotation. They sometimes will share a high-value man rather than settle with, some beta loser and stuff like that. So again, no self-awareness, none of this kind of thing. Later on in the video, she goes on to make a comment regarding how, she's received a lot of praise and a lot of thanks and all this other kinds of stuff. Apparently some men, good men that she knows, are really thankful that they got some insight into how women think. So to those men, I say, she's not going to sleep with you. The advice she's given isn't going to help. She's not sleeping with you. Do not take advice from women who, straight up, first of all, don't listen to what women say. Always look at what she does. She's not sleeping with you. Look at the types of guys that she's going after and her friends are going after. All of the things that she said not to do, this elusive guy had apparently done to her friend, and he was getting the action. So don't listen to anything that she says. Do the opposite. If you want to get with girls like this and have women in rotation, do the exact opposite of what she said. And on that note as well, ladies, guys, whatever, apparently ladies are like, oh yeah, go girl, champion, the Council of Vaginas approve. Yeah, of course they do. You ever notice that women always try to define masculinity in terms that are beneficial to them? Never terms that are beneficial to us, right? You see it all the time. You know, women go on, these single moms, for instance, go on social media. A real man will raise another man's kid as if it's his own. No, he wouldn't. That's the definition of a cock. Like, that is the very definition of cock. And, you know, it's frowned upon in nature. But women always define, you know, masculinity in terms that are good to them. So Tomi's rant right here, meaningless. She's describing traits and attributes that are beneficial to her, but not necessarily beneficial to men. Like, if I'm a high-valued status guy, I've got money, I've got looks, I've got the six-pack and, you know, all the other good trappings, and I have an assortment of women that I can choose from, what is the benefit of me only dating if I'm single? Like, what is the benefit to me giving my monogamy to one girl up front when she may not even be, you know, worthwhile? She might be crazy. She might be a host of other things. Especially women over 30, you see this a lot on dating apps and stuff like that. I'm looking for a serious relationship. And they do not understand that men don't know if you're serious relationship material. I cannot give you that commitment up front. Let's meet. Let's see what happens. Maybe you're not worth having a serious relationship. Maybe you've got mental issues. Maybe you work too much and you got no time to commit to a family. There are a host of other things. Women cannot just demand this type of commitment up front. I'm sorry to tell you, commitment and monogamy are earned. So a high quality guy, couple of girls, one is not working out. She's working too hard. She's got Tomi Lahren's attitude. Goodbye. I've got other options. So that is something that a lot of these women don't seem to understand. Yeah, I had to cut the video for a second. I got a delivery. So if things are a little bit off, forgive me. I just had to stop the stream. But yes, later on in the discussion, Tomi brings up the fact that none of that rant that she did has anything to do with her ex-fiance. Apparently, he never had any of those issues that she described in her list. Apparently, he's a saint, and any woman that ends up with him is going to be very fortunate. So the question is, if he was a saint and he did all of those things, why aren't you with him? Right? Did she just inadvertently admit that, she is the problem? Like, she kind of walked into that one. That's how I would interpret it. And the last point that I'll just kind of touch on, she was very candid to talk about, her history dating abusive men. I haven't read her book. I don't know anything about, these abusive relationships that she's had. Abuse in any kind of form and fashion is not acceptable. Emotional and, emotional manipulation and these types of things, I don't condone it, or physical violence, definitely don't condone it. However, there is a very big difference between a guy who's got game and is able to, seduce a woman, and a woman blaming her susceptibility to these types of, to game and other things and calling it abusive. Now, I'm not saying that's what she did. I'm just saying a lot of women tend to try to hide the fact that they are bad at choosing men or bad at vetting men. And they just surmise that it's the man's fault he was abusive. I don't know the details. I'm always, I'm innocent until proven guilty tends to be my mantra. If there has been physical abuse, definitely I don't condone anything along those lines. However, a lot of women, they don't like to take responsibility. I see this especially amongst a lot of single moms when they come out and they start talking about, oh my God, the father of my kids is a this and a that, and they list off all of the insults in the book. Now, while that may be true, to the man who's hearing the woman say that, all he's hearing is that you lack insight and discernment to determine who is a good partner or not. You let this guy impregnate you, and then you discovered all of these negative traits. It just means, one, you're very bad at vetting people. You're very bad at making, choices for life partners. And yeah, you're not very good at making decisions in terms of who you allowed to impregnate you into your life. So that's strikes on both counts. Both of those things, women don't necessarily come out looking the best. Again, I'm not endorsing any kind of actual abuse, mental, physical, anything like that. I don't know the details of Tomi Lahren's situation, but by her confessing these things, it doesn't help her situation. She did talk about how she's done with that. She's moved on and she's no longer tolerating that in her life. Good. But that does not address the underlying causes and mental issues or insecurities or whatever the case might be that allowed her to fall into those traps in the first place. Behavior modification, while, might be effective, those underlying roots can still be there. It's like an alcoholic. While they can stop themselves from drinking again, the underlying causes of the alcoholism kind of remain an issue. So that's kind of a concern. Again, these are not selling points for Tomi Lahren. She's not doing herself any favors, unless, of course, she's out there working on herself, trying to overcome these internal issues that she has. Clearly, some of this entitlement and these other types of things. And the people who were offering helpful criticism, she basically dismissed, right? So she got her fanboys, she got her fangirls, yeah, girl power and all that good stuff. Apparently a couple men, like, oh yeah, thank you. But she never took the time to address any of the actual criticisms in that video, which means she doesn't seem to have any self-awareness. She doesn't seem to be, really looking for any kind of help. She's approaching this pretty much like a Calvinist would approach, a person of a different denomination. I'm right. I'm the good person. You're the devil. I don't have to listen to you. So, guys, with that said, this is my video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you gleaned something from it. Again, all of the links will be below. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you'd like to see more. If you have your own comments on her retraction video, put your comments below. We could always have the conversation. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. Take care.